Success Radio USA's Profiles of Success is brought to you in part by the 365 Grand Club, Colorado Springs' only elite urban downtown club. Don't like having to park downtown? Don't like paying full price for great dining? Hate working out in crowded gyms? Use your 365 Grand Club card and forget all of that. Enjoy the benefits of downtown with ease and prestige. Get your club card today by visiting www.365grandclub.com. That's 365grandclub.com. Go there today and join the club, the 365 Grand Club. And now let's join your hosts of Profiles of Success, Chuck Bader and Jerry Evans.
Welcome to Profiles of Success. And more important than saying welcome is thank you for being here, and thank you for taking this great information to make your life better and the people that you know's lives better.
That's right. That's Chuck Bader. I'm Jerry Evans. Welcome, everybody. And we do indeed want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here on Profiles of Success. You can find us by going to our Facebook page at Success Radio USA or by going to our website at successradio.us. We'd like to invite you to register with us there for free, and you will get are you ready for this? A free ebook download is our gift to you.
Free.
Yeah, see? Even the studio audience is applauding that.
Yeah, love the studio audience.
If you're one of those who takes success seriously, you can...
Yeah, Because
you take Success Radio or Success seriously. Yeah,
you got to show up to rehearsal.
Somebody wrote that wrong, okay? Anyway, you can subscribe to Success Radio USA for only a few dollars a month and have total access to our show archives on demand and our Success Library of ebooks, which are also free to members. How about that?
And when they say it's a few dollars per month, let's tell them how few dollars it is. Less than $1 a week.
That's right. $4 a month.
No,
that's
$3.99.
Well,
that extra penny over 12 months is 12 cents, and over a year, it's like you got $1. So hey, it all counts. Somebody once said, if you mind your pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. That's some Dave Ramsey advice, probably, right?
I was going to ask a penny for your thoughts, or what?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
All right. But anyway, let's get to the subject at hand here. We are excited to have our guest on the program today.
Yes, sir.
Good friend of mine. Met him while we were actually at 24 Hour Fitness. We were in the hot tub. We got to talk about a whole bunch of things, and next thing you know, we were hanging out together and having some good times, but he's got, I think, a really great success story to pass along to each and everybody, and I want to welcome Johnny Wilson here to the program on successradio.us, and also this is Profiles of Success. Thank you, Johnny, for being here today.
Welcome, Johnny.
Thanks for having me.
You betcha.
Okay, so give us a background. Where you're from, what has happened in your life?
Well, let's start from today. I'm 56 years old. I live in Colorado Springs. I'm actually in school full-time studying project management at Colorado Technical University. And to go back where I came from, I was born and raised in Sydney, Ohio, 1961, a town of about 14,000.
Wow.
Kind of brought up through the public school system, not big enough for football, not big enough for basketball. And so I turned to bowling and baseball.
Okay.
Kind of, it doesn't really matter your size. So played sports growing up, took carpentry in a vocational school, built some houses, poured concrete at $4 an hour.
Those were the days. Yeah, boy, hard work for $4 an hour. Wow, that's a long time ago. That's for sure.
So I got a chance to go work in an aluminum factory for $7.20 an hour. So
there's a step up. See, already a profile of success. There.
Double your income.
So I did that, and when I looked around, I was like, "That's not for me."
Mm-hmm.
So joined the United States Navy and spent 24 years as a...
Did you hear that, Chuck? The Navy,
yes.
Not the Marines.
Department of the Navy, so that's, a little step out there.
I know. But we always tease him about that, that he was in the Marine Corps and Navy, so on. So, okay, go ahead.
Well, the Marines tell me it was the best part of the Navy. So.
Well, they said that Navy guys are the lowest form of Marine life, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I always heard, too. So, okay.
So, when I looked around, working in a factory 8 hours a night, and I was like, boy, it's not for me. My dad was there, 3 uncles. It's like, I got to get out of here. So, went and talked to a recruiter and didn't have the job I wanted. So they kind of put me on a program where I'd go do what they wanted me to for 18 months, and then I would get my job, which was I wanted to be a photographer. So that's kind of the path I took. And then, 24 years in the Navy. I was a Navy diver, naval air crewman.
Now expand on that about being a Navy diver. What did that entail?
Well, to be a Navy diver, I started out once I got out of photography A school. I got shore duty. Last thing in the world I wanted. I didn't join the Navy to have shore duty. So I got stationed in Washington, D.C. at an intelligence command. But it turned out to be really good because I learned the basics. And in life, you need a good foundation. So
you'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's very. Yeah. And you can get it any time is the important part.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because you can get it in your 20s, 30s, all 50s.
You build it yourself sometimes.
Yeah. Even if you're over 60, like somebody here.
Yes, yes. Yeah, or 80, Colonel Sanders. That's 70
right.
years
Colonel
old.
Sanders, you've alluded
Grandma Moses.
Right. Yeah. Go.
Yeah, you build your own foundation.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's a key factor of success. And this is what you're talking about.
It
is that so many people are reactive, so many people are circumstantial, here's my environment. You, a classic example already, grew up in a situation, small town, not a whole lot of opportunity, legacy that you may have been socially pressured to follow. My dad and my relatives are out there, and so for you to leave, that took some courage right there. Now, did you get any pushback from your relatives by saying you need to follow the family line, or did they support you?
No, I wasn't supported.
Okay, so now let's expand upon that story because that is so important. So many people want to make a change. Those around them don't support them. They say, okay, I'll just give in. Well, you didn't do that. What did you do?
Well, and here's a unique reason why I wasn't supported. My grandfather was killed in World War II. Okay. In Bologna, Italy, and then he's buried in Florence, Italy. And my mom absolutely forbid me to go in the military.
Okay.
But when I looked around, you're a product of your environment. So I grew up with alcohol and smoking, and back in the day, you're in the back seat and the smoke's rolling back on you as a kid. And, but boy, you sure have a chance to change that. So the military was my opportunity to kind of break away from that environment I was raised in. Right. So, I've retired from the military, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. But it's given me a great foundation in life. I'm never late. I'm very courteous. Right. So I think the military really, really has formed me.
But you bring up a good point in the fact that not only was it a family legacy, and this is where people, you have to be careful who you listen to, even if they're people you love or people who you think are good. But your mother had said, based on the loss, that he died in that war, is that's why you're not going to do that. So the important point to point out is that when people give you advice, find out what are they basing it off of. And of course, they're wanting to keep you safe, but that may not be the best thing for you. And obviously, it was fine for you,
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got into a lot of areas in the military where it really wasn't all that safe. Isn't that correct?
Well, sure, yeah. Well, obviously, diving's not safe. Right. There's so many things that can go wrong there. But I also did both Gulf Wars as a photographer. So, 1,000+ hours in helicopters, landing on aircraft carriers, working on aircraft carriers. Nothing I've done is safe, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It has been an amazing career, and I really do miss it. Yeah.
Well, that about sums it up because, when you think about, building that foundation from that perspective, how it helped you achieve what you've been able to achieve and get to this point now in your life. And now you're moving on into another path. And that's what I find kind of amazing is the fact that you were able to, put all that aside and say, you know what? Okay, that was a very important part of my life, but now I'm moving forward. And that's one of the things Chuck always stresses is whatever you do, make sure you keep moving forward. And I think that's what's happening with you at this particular point.
Yeah, I'm a prime example of that because when I got out of the military, all I knew was photography. So I moved out here, I opened a photography studio and put myself in a ton of debt. I didn't want to work for anybody. So, you got to have good credit. You need a charge card for this, charge card for that, charge card for this. And I really, really got myself in some debt. And you mentioned Dave Ramsey earlier, and he's got a quote, when you dig yourself into a hole, stop digging. So...
yeah, I like that. That's very good, yes.
It's a good action to take no action.
So I shut down my studio, found a company to hire me and send me to commercial driving school. So I ended up driving trucks in the oil field.
Okay.
And once I didn't have the cost of that business, I just plugged away at getting out of debt.
Okay.
And, I'm about 4 years past that now. And, I have no debt. I mean, I owe for my home, but
right.
Life changes when you don't have debt hanging over your head. So
big freedom.
Yeah, huge freedom.
And speaking of no debt, we're going to be hearing from our sponsors that make this show possible. So we want to make sure that you use their services so they don't go into debt or go out of business.
That's a very good point.
Right. I mean, it's so obvious to miss that, but it's like they're business owners. They're kind of doing what you've been doing here. So we need to support them, right? It's local. It's in our community. What you make here, you spend here kind of a concept. So when you're listening to our show, we have a job for you. So get ready for your lesson again.
Here we go. I'm holding up the pen.
What are we doing here? Yes.
Here's my pen right there.
Analog pen.
Okay.
20th century. Analog paper. Been around for who knows how long. And all of a sudden you're listening to our sponsors and you say, oh, if I need computer repair, who do I call? Elk Creek Computing. Write down the phone number on the website. If I need whatever services, write down the phone number on the website and you call them. It's not that hard. But I know we go through the lessons. That's the benefit, right? Free education here. You don't have to download an audiobook on how to listen to a radio show. You just listen to me. I'll walk you through it, man. So get that pen and paper because it's coming up right soon here. But when we get back, we're going to expand on a resource that maybe you didn't know about. And I don't know, you got someone to find out. But there's a great resource called SCORE, and there's a great resource called the Small Business Development Center, and we have the powerhouse of knowledge, Terry Zarski of the Pikes Peak Library District here, and they could really provide some support to maybe help you on your next venture. So right now, we'll be right back.
Rena, how is a car like a computer?
I don't know. How?
If you don't do routine maintenance, they get gooped up and fail early. By performing routine maintenance, your system performance will be improved, keep it secure, and find issues while they were small.
Well, Elk Creek Computers will perform routine maintenance on your computers for $99 per system. Call us at 719-576-4122 to schedule an appointment today.
This week, my name is Harley Mitchell. Next week, I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll use your name. You see, I'm a cyber criminal, and I steal information that defines who you are. Things like your driver's license number, your birth date, your home address, your office address, your social security number, your medical information, insurance cards, business licenses, and if I can get it, your birth certificate. If I can get one, I can get the rest. It's not personal. It's just business. Once I have your information, I bundle it with others and I sell it. Not just once, but over and over and over and over and over.
Due to recent massive data breaches, your personal information is now available for cyber criminals like Harley to buy and sell to their underworld counterparts for profit. Bad people with bad intentions hiding behind your identity. Don't be fooled and lock down your financial life. Use the professionals that Fortune 500 companies use, ID Shield and Legal Shield. It costs less and reaches further. Don't lock down your life. Call Andrea Wacker and get the right protection for the right problem. Andrea Wacker is your Lady of Justice. Call now at 719-243-3174. That's 719-243-3174. Success Radio USA is always looking for ways to help you succeed. Whether it's offering a word of encouragement or sharing practical information that can give you the competitive edge. So you'll want to pay close attention to this. Our new sponsor, the 365 Grand Club, can give you the edge when conducting business in downtown Colorado Springs. You might want to entertain a potential client or just show appreciation to a loyal business partner. Either way, your new 365 Grand Club card is your passport to downtown Colorado Springs. Your club card gives you access to discounts, business perks, making new business connections, and the convenient private concierge service that makes getting around town hassle-free. Enjoy the benefits of downtown with ease and prestige. Get your club card today by visiting www.365grandclub.com. That's 365grandclub.com. Get yours this week and join the club, the 365 Grand Club.
Whenever you point, I talk. Yep. And welcome back to Profiles of Success. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're listening. We have a teaser segment coming up. We're in segment 2 right now, 4 segments. And in segment 3, we're going to talk about the mystery goal, which is pretty amazing because I don't know what it is yet, but I'm very intrigued to find out.
Well, it's not that amazing. It's just that I want to make sure that we keep it a secret so that everybody will keep tuned in.
We're in marketing, Jerry. This is amazing. It's fantastic. You've got to listen to this. Don't miss it. Tell your friends.
Okay, it's amazing.
You've got to be tuning into segment 3 because you're going to be blown away by this stuff.
Thank you for joining us here on Profiles of Success. You can find us by going to our Facebook page at Success Radio USA or by going to our website at successradio.us. We would invite you to register with us there for free, and you will get a free ebook download as our gift to you. So, you are one of those people that take success seriously. Yeah. How's that? Yes. You can subscribe to Success Radio USA for only a few dollars a month and have total access to our show's archives on demand and our Success Library of ebooks, which are also free to members at only $3.99 a month.
Yay! We got to rewrite that and say $1 a week. I like that better.
Well,
$1 a week.
You said I couldn't say $4 in a month.
Less than $1 a week.
Okay,
just under $1 a week.
Okay,
yes.
Just all you can eat for under $1, right?
Mentally, yes. Mentally, you got to feed your mind. And before we get in the segment, so we're talking off the air, and of course, you can't hear us as a listener, but you can see us in the background, which is kind of cool. I love the effect on that. But we're talking about Dave Ramsey. He reads Dave Ramsey. Talking about Brian Tracy. He reads Brian Tracy, and 500 other books. Yeah. You got to be reading. You got to be pursuing education, and that's I think one of the biggest problems in this country is people go to high school, they go to college, and they're done for the rest of their life. Now they'll read Twitter and all the junk news they want to, but they're not choosing what to put in their mind, things that can benefit them, give them skill sets to provide value in the marketplace. You get the money coming back. It's a beautiful cycle of life kind of thing. But people like Johnny really get that. You've got to keep learning. You've got to keep growing. You got to keep educating yourself, and especially staying relevant today because things change so fast.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with it.
Okay. So let's go back to the failure. And but the fun thing was that when you first got out here, what's the first organization? And my boys down at the organization go love this. What's the first organization said I'm going to start a business? I need to call
Score.
Oh, Score!
Shoots, he scores!
He shoots, he scores! So the man got it right. Go down to Score. Talk to counselors, folks who've been there, done that, and going to help you do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. They offered a class at UCCS, and so I went down there and I took it, and they assigned a gentleman to me that had been retired, and he was kind of my mentor.
Mm-hmm, right.
So I was like, hey, I want to open a photography studio. And he's like, well, what experience do you have? I'm 24 years in the Navy as a photographer. He says, what business experience do you have?
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
Right. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. So he helped me, worked out of my house at first, and then I opened a studio on Garden of the Gods Road, and that's when everything got expensive.
Oh, the price of rent on that street, boy. That's
sure.
Popular.
Yeah. I was so busy, hiring people.
Right. The admin stuff.
Yeah, getting all that done with no experience. I got overwhelmed, and that's where I dug the hole, and I said, I got to quit digging.
Right.
So now I just kind of do part-time photography when I don't go out and look for it, but when somebody calls me. I have a huge client base that still calls me. And
nice.
So still do a lot of photography.
That's cool.
So, but Score was amazing.
Yeah. And you said you're passing on the same advice to your wife who wants to be a personal trainer.
Yeah,
Start off that career.
You just mentioned the lady from the library.
Yes, Terry Zarsky, the rock star librarian.
So Terry came to CTU, where I'm in my master's degree right now, and spoke to us. Mm-hmm. And she had so many resources.
Right.
And she just gave us some paperwork on it, and I went home and gave it to my wife. I said, you really need to go to the library and look at some of this stuff. And so, she hasn't been there yet, but it's that resource we have in our pocket. So.
Look at the natural psychology. He says she hasn't been there yet.
Yeah.
That's the keyword, hasn't been there yet. That is good. That means she's going, right?
Yeah. That's a big three-letter word.
It is a big three-letter word. People miss that. I don't do this. It's like, add the word yet to it. I don't have this yet. That's great.
Yeah, well, she just got her certification as a personal trainer, and was working on flyers, and, she's like, how do I reach people? I'm like, go to the library.
Yes.
Go talk to Terry.
And I'm going to plug a book because I'm going to a seminar tonight, but Dean Graziosi, which is spelled Graziosi, ZOSCI, something like that. But it's called the Millionaire Success Habits. I'm going to this workshop tonight. But you talk about how to start a business, how to lay out the business plan. That's one book I'd recommend. The other one is The Answer by John Assaraf. And these are two books that go through everything from the psychology to goal setting to visualization to the actual hard market research. And it sounds like you've read those before, the way you're nodding your head.
No, I have not.
Oh, okay.
But I know of Dean.
Okay, yes.
So I haven't read them. My past 3 years has been school, studying project management.
Perfect.
So I haven't done a lot of personal reading in the past few years. It's all been homework.
But it's still reading, it's still growth, it's still skill sets.
It's been amazing.
Yeah. Beats the heck out of Twitter, Facebook, and, nonsense news.
Yeah, I don't pay much attention to any of that.
And that is so important. And you pick that up, especially in the Brian Tracy's of the world. It's like, keep your mind off that stuff. Tony Robbins of the world.
Yeah. Well, I made a note. One of his books was goals.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you don't have a goal, you're not growing. So.
Right. And it's funny because Brian shares a story in one of his books when he did a seminar, and this guy had attended the seminar, and he did everything Brian said, wildly successful about a year and a half, and then apparently, he just kind of get away from the principles of that, and so he came back to one of Brian's workshops like 5 years later, and he was furious. He said, this stuff doesn't work, and he's wanting a refund and all that stuff, and Brian says, are you still doing it? And it just dawned on the guy at that point in time, no, I'm not. Yeah. And so he started doing it again, and all of a sudden he's successful. So yeah, you don't just read it and it's going to magically happen. You've got to take the actions. That's what Tony Robbins is always harping on. Don't listen if you're not going to take action. Wow, how hard is that?
Yeah. And I've read some books 2 and 3 times, or I go back where I've highlighted stuff.
Yes.
But once I see it on the shelf, I'm like, let me read that again.
And you bring up a great point, because if you're just going to read a book without highlighting, without making notes, you're kind of wasting your time, because then when you go back to redo it again after you've learned and applied the principles, you're starting from scratch. One of my best business mentors, Jeff Johnson of American National Insurance up in Denver, you got to see his books. This guy's got sticky notes all over the place, side drills. It's like, oh my gosh, that's the way you study a book. You don't read it. Yeah. And so when he goes back, he just knows, okay, topic, boom, and there it is. I got what I need instantly, not having to go through the whole thing again. So that's a great point.
Yeah, my books are a mess.
That's a good thing.
But your mind is very clear because of that.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much I remember, so I got to go back and
he is 56,
look at him again. But I'm 56, still learning.
Yeah, that's true, and that's what you got to look at. You got to progress from there and everything like that.
Yes.
Changing gears here a little bit, you also did a very special book that was special to you, and it wasn't necessarily about words; it was about pictures. And why don't you elaborate about that?
Yeah, so 2012, we had the Waldo Canyon fire, and I had my studio in Garden of the Gods. And so I got evacuated. My home got evacuated. And I had 3 dogs. My wife was out of town. I had my niece with me. So everybody's taking pictures of the fire. So I never took one photo of the fire. But I was hearing all these amazing stories. So in 2009, I started collecting handwritten stories from World War II veterans. And then, homelessness, teen pregnancy, lupus, just stories that were interesting. So I turned my efforts to the fire, and I collected 109 handwritten stories about the fire, and then I brought the people that wrote the stories to my studio and did a portrait. So the portrait might be of a police officer, so he was in uniform. A firefighter was in uniform.
That's cool.
Children, that had lost their home or was evacuated from school, care and share, just community stories.
Right.
And then it ended up being, I think, a 227-page book, full color, 11 by 14.
Wow. That's huge. Is it on the market yet?
I only printed 300.
Okay.
If you don't have backing going down that road, it gets very, very expensive.
Right.
But you only charge what it costs you, right?
I charge what it costs, but that was part of me digging a hole.
Now, is there a phone number or something you want to give out so if people want to get a copy of that book, they can at least call you?
Yeah, they can call me personally at 719-210-6780.
And now 2 more times because they're writing, they don't write that fast.
719-210-6780.
6780.
One more time.
719-210.
6780. 6780.
He got it right all 3 times.
Yes.
And I only have about 30 left.
Oh, you better call today. And I'm serious, call today, right? 30 left. Yeah. You're going to wait till tomorrow? Hey, I want a book. Sorry, he's gone. Yeah. You got to take action now, man.
That's exactly right.
Norman Vincent Peale learned that lesson the easy way.
Well, here's the thing with photography. Everything you do is history.
Exactly.
So that's the way I approach all my work.
Yeah.
And, this was 2012. Man, that's history.
It is. It really is.
Everybody's kind of rebuilt, and 50 years from now, nobody's going to know there's a fire here. Mm-hmm. We do now because we still see the burned trees, but some of the people in the book have moved away. They've passed on, and it's just a great history piece.
But it's so important on that. I mean, look at Bob Jackson took the photographer Lee Harvey Oswald. I mean, what a piece that was, Yeah.
Right.
Or the flag raising at Iwo Jima. You talk about the military. So you just have a second to capture that history, then it's gone.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you've captured a lot of stories, with the portraits of those people that were sharing those stories. I mean, that is, to me, that's a way of like giving back of yourself, not just being a success, but also giving back, even though, people may have purchased the book, but they didn't purchase it for any more than what you were shelling out as for your own personal cost. This was a situation where you were giving back to the community what you saw in your own life that was important.
Yeah, and you just hit a point in life is giving back.
Right.
Once you start giving back, your life just becomes enhanced so much.
Yeah, we dwell on that. Yeah. Okay, we got the third segment coming up here, and this is where we're going to reveal the upcoming near future for Mr. Johnny Wilson.
See, now you got to keep listening because now I'm on the edge of my seat, literally, so you got to make sure you do that.
He really
now,
is.
We're going to take a little change here, so instead of writing down our sponsors' numbers, give out your number one more time before the break.
Right.
My number is
719-210-210-6780. 6780. Call today, 30 copies left. Be one of the last kids on your block to get this book because there's only 30 copies left. You miss it today, it's gone forever. And this is not one of those fake kind of things where, limited times. I mean, it's actually 30 copies. That's it. You count them, they're gone, boom. Make sure you're one of the people that gets one of those pieces of history right here from Colorado Springs. Well, this is Profiles of Success. I'm your host, Chuck Bader, with Jerry Evans, our guest, Johnny, and we're going to be right back.
Success Radio USA is always looking for ways to help you succeed. Whether it's offering a word of encouragement or sharing practical information that can give you the competitive edge. So you'll want to pay close attention to this. Our new sponsor, the 365 Grand Club, can give you the edge when conducting business in downtown Colorado Springs. You might want to entertain a potential client or just show appreciation to a loyal business partner. Either way, your new 365 Grand Club card is your passport to downtown Colorado Springs. Your club card gives you access to discounts, business perks, making new business connections, and the convenient private concierge service that makes getting around town hassle-free. Enjoy the benefits of downtown with ease and prestige. Get your club card today by visiting www.365grandclub.com. That's 365grandclub.com. Get yours this week and join the club, the 365 Grand Club.
It gives clarity to problem solving. It increases production and focus on the job. It alleviates sleepless and restless nights and fends off stress and tension headaches. No, it's not the latest energy drink or health supplement. It's Legal Shield. Get peace of mind every day, every night, now and forever. Legal Shield. Get it.
To find out more about Legal Shield and how it can protect your family and your business, call Andrea at area code 719-243-3174. That's area code 719-243-3174. Legal Shield. Programming produced by and for the Internet Broadcasting Network can be found on TuneIn. Be sure to take us with you by using the TuneIn app on all your mobile devices. This is the IB Network.
Hit it. We're back.
And welcome back to Profiles of Success. I'm your host, Chuck Bader, along with your co-host,
Jerry Evans, I think. I'm here, yes. Okay. We do want to thank everybody for joining us right here on Profiles of Success. Remember that you can find us by going to our Facebook page at Success Radio USA or by going to our website at successradio.us. There we go. We would invite you to register with us there for free, and you will get a free ebook download as our gift to you. So if you are no, we're not going to say that, are we, Johnny? Huh? We're not going to say.
Not if.
Why don't you say, we invite you to register with us, and then if you want to be one of those people who take success seriously, you can say that, right?
No, I can't read your writing.
That's Tim's writing. You can subscribe to Success Radio USA for only a few dollars a month and have total access to our show's archives on demand and our Success Library of ebooks, which are also free to members. Okay.
Less than $1 a week.
Less than $1 a week.
You got that education on demand.
That's right.
24/7. You're up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You want to look at Twitter? No. Go to Success Radio and listen to one of our programs. That is really, it sounds so easy, and that's why people miss it, but that's the difference. So you get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You normally get in the habit of Twitter, Facebook, whatever you're on, but it's like, what if you make one small decision to go to Success Radio and replay a program, and you pick up something on Dave Ramsey, Brian Tracy, and all of a sudden that can be a little direction, and that's something John Asraf talks about, a little direction to change your long-term trajectory. So
it's all about reaching your goals, right?
It's all about reaching. Well, you got to have them first.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, I was going to point out what we're going to talk about here in just a second is a product of what you're going to show on the screen right now. This is something that that Johnny talked about earlier. We got
a Facebook Live thingy going on now.
Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Regardless of that, what we're talking about is the bucket.
The bucket.
So turn the page over so we can see it over. Okay. Anyway, Johnny was talking about getting out of debt earlier, and this is one of the things that is going to allow him to do what his next venture is. And so you talked about putting everything into a bucket, the income coming in, and then the holes in the bucket, right?
Yeah, sure. So years ago, I seen this bucket. I've done a lot of financial stuff. I read constantly, invest. But when I was young, early in the military, you don't make a lot of money.
No.
So I wanted to buy a house. So I'm like, okay, how can I save money to buy a house? So I found this photo of a bucket. So your income went into the bucket, and then you drew little circles, holes in the bucket where your money was leaking out, which could be rent, a car payment, car insurance, food, entertainment, whatever it was. So I listed it. And back in the day, I had 30, 40 holes in my bucket. Today, I have about 6. House payment, car insurance. I own my cars. I don't buy new cars, but
those are necessary everyday items. Those are things you can't really do anything about.
There's still leaks. I paid cash $3,000 for an older truck. I didn't pay $40,000 for a brand new Toyota Tacoma.
Dave Ramsey would be so proud.
Yeah, he would be.
Well, 3 years ago, I went through Dave Ramsey's, Financial Peace University.
Oh, yeah. And you remember when was it Zig Ziglar when he said he drove around in that old beat up truck that he had, and I said the thing about the beater with no heater.
Yes.
Is that kind of what you're talking about?
It is. And if you've ever read The Millionaire Next Door.
Yeah.
I know a few guys that are multimillionaires, but you cannot tell it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do not drive big cars. They don't have big houses. They've set up their families for life, and they've had normal jobs. But you put up a little bit each paycheck, it adds up.
Okay, and they actually seem happier because they're more focused on activities than goods.
I can't tell you how happy I am to be out of debt.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so with regard to the bucket, you are in a position now where you deem yourself as being out of debt, with maybe the exception of the house payment and everything like that. What has that allowed you to be able to do in the immediate future?
Here in a couple weeks, I'm going on the Professional Bowlers Tour.
Whoa, there we go. That is, professional is the difference right there.
That's exactly right.
So then that's a long-term goal, a 1-year goal, I think you said it was.
Well, I watched a PBA regional tournament March of last year, and I figured I wasn't good enough to compete. And I said, that's me. That's what I want to do. So joined another league, bowled more, practiced more, got more equipment, more tools for the trade.
Now, who do you think got him prompted to go back into bowling?
The guy I'm
Would that be Jerry Evans?
Sound like something where you say Boutros golly or something like that, right?
Yeah. So I worked in a bowling alley for 3 years when I was 16, 17, 18 before I took a job in construction. And then I joined the military and I quit. I didn't bowl for 33 years.
Wow, that's a long break.
So started 2 years ago, and now if you want to track our path for the PBA, it's PBA 50 for professionals over 50 years old.
Okay.
Go to PBA 50 2018 schedule. And we start in Florida April 21st, go up the East Coast a little bit, drive out to the West Coast, Las Vegas. We're off for a little bit, and then we're in Minnesota, Indiana, Michigan.
Wow.
And then I'm probably going to grab a couple tournaments on the normal PBA just for my own personal growth.
And that's growth. I love the word you're saying growth all the time. So growth, learning, moving forward.
Yep.
That is huge.
Now, are you totally surprised by what this goal is?
No, well, because it's a passion goal for him.
Right.
That's the important part.
That's what I was going to point out. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Right. You're probably not going to make $1 million at it, but you're doing something that brings you fulfillment.
Yeah. Well, I've saved $5,000. When that $5,000 runs out, I'm coming home.
There you go.
So
it's not going to run out. He's going to do real well.
There we go.
So
you got to think positive.
So you hope to qualify, each week or get the chance to be in the top 5,
right.
And make some decent money if you're good enough. And at any given day, any pro bowler is good enough.
Okay.
And to put that into perspective, he recently took part in a regional tournament. After the first game, now I know this may not be the end result, but after the first game, he was leading the tournament.
Hey. So you can use that as a reference for the next time you bowl, honestly.
Well, actually, I framed that.
Did you? Okay, yes.
He's got it up on the wall. It's like a big 10-foot picture.
And on that is Pete Weber and Norm Duke.
Okay.
These are 2 Hall of Fame bowlers that I will bowl with every week on this tournament, along with many others that are great bowlers.
But I mean, that's such a huge goal to be taking that on. It's like, boom, now all of a sudden I'm at that level. Here are the guys.
Yep.
Been looking up to them. Now I'm looking straight at them.
Yeah. And I'll be the only one from Colorado Springs in the swing or the tournament for this summer.
Nice.
So that's a big deal. And there's great bowlers in Colorado Springs, but jump out there and try it.
Exactly. And there must have been time, maybe not for you, but probably other people, where you may not have had the courage. I don't know if I could actually do that. Can I get to that level?
Well, a lot of them are in a job they don't like, or they don't have the money to do it, and they're amazing bowlers. And I'm at a point in my life where I don't have debt, and I'm getting ready to go back to work in January once I finish my master's degree. I'm going.
Right.
So I leave here in a couple weeks, and I'll be on the road till August.
And so you're not waiting, you're not talking yourself out of it, you're just doing it.
I'm not talking myself out of it. No way. This is one of the biggest things in my life, and I can't wait to get on the road.
And this is good because Jack Canfield, I'm sure you read him, but he did a book to where they had interviewed seniors and at a senior center, and the theme of the interview was, what is your biggest regret? And to a person, every senior said the things I was afraid to do.
Yep.
What a shame to be at that age. It's like, gee, I wish I'd have done that. Hey, that boat's left.
Well, what sticks in my mind is what if. I don't want to go.
Let's talk about that.
I don't want to go to my grave with a what if.
Keep talking about that because I love that principle. That's a good philosophy.
Well, life is busy. Life is tough, and things get in the way. A lot of people have family and they can't do it, and kids and they can't do it. But you set that goal, and little goals will equal big goals.
Yes.
So
you got to break it down in small steps.
I started a year ago, and every time I can make some money, I put it up, and I'm leaving here in a couple weeks.
That's the way to do it.
And I approached that with like basketball officiating because I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because I had family obligations. I had this obligation. I had that, and I said, well, I don't have the money to do this. And now, I don't have the time to do that because I got this other function going on. And finally, I just decided, you know what? I'm going to go to a meeting. And I went to that. And about 11 years later, I'm still officiating basketball and doing a number of games, making some extra money on that. And that was always kind of one of those things that I always thought about in the back of my head. Was this a goal for Jerry Evans? Yes, it was. And I finally achieved that goal. And that was with a lot of influence from people who had been officiating for a number of years and always said, you know what? You'd be a really good official. Why don't you do it?
Doing it, yes.
And I finally said,
when other people tell you, that's a good confirmation.
And
listen
like
to
you
it.
said, what if? And I look back and I wonder, what if I had never done that?
Yeah. And, I'm not the best bowler. But on days, I can be.
Right.
And when you're out there every week doing it with the best in the world, you're going to get better.
Yes.
So I'm going out for experience.
Right.
And then in the future, I'd like to coach or maybe own a bowling alley someday.
There you go.
Those are future goals.
And those are good. And those are big goals, too, to own a bowling alley, not just bowl there on a team.
Well, you know,
that's a great way of thinking.
In life, you want to do something that interests you. You don't want to go to a job that you hate.
Right.
Because it affects your whole life, your home life.
Yes.
So find something that interests you and you have passion in.
And once he opens that bowling center, I'm going to go to work for him, too. So
There you go.
He'll be too old.
Gee, thanks a lot. Boy, I set myself up for that one.
No, that's just saying I may not have the bowling alley in the near future.
So he's got to make it instead of a long-term goal.
Well, yeah, you got to have a long-term goal. You got the short-term goal and you got the long-term goal, you know, and you never know. I mean,
he's got to move that down the page.
They may coincide. It could be one of those situations. But, you know, that really is, fascinating. Of course, everybody knows, anybody that knows me knows that I love the game of bowling and everything like that. But, you know, for you to have that passion to come out and openly say, you know what, I don't want to have a what if in my life with regard to going out and trying the Professional Bowlers Tour over 50 league, or the tournaments, I should say. And so for that aspect of it, you're achieving a goal because this is something you've had a passion about, something you really want to do, and you're going to pursue it regardless of the outcome.
Well, you know, it was a forgotten passion. Because once I joined the military, I focused on being good at my job in the military. And then once I met you, it was like, I used to bowl. And it was kind of funny. It's like, why don't you come down and sub someday? So I came down and I subbed, and I haven't left.
So. Right.
And now you're furthering it into a par of excellence, if you really think about that.
Yeah, this is a big deal for me.
Well, exactly. And the cool thing is the health benefits, because, you know, when you go to a job that you don't like, I mean, anything that creates stress actually hurts your health. And boy, they've got studies on that nowadays, right? Yep. But when you do something you love, you have just the opposite effect.
Yep.
So for your health, nothing else. And for the health of our sponsors of this show. Gotta have a segue. Yes. Get the pen, get the paper, write the numbers down on the websites. Make sure you sponsor them and make sure you support them, or I'm going to come get you, as Wolfman Jack would say. We're going to be right back on Profiles of Success.
Success Radio USA is always looking for ways to help you succeed. Whether it's offering a word of encouragement or sharing practical information that can give you the competitive edge. So you'll want to pay close attention to this. Our new sponsor, the 365 Grand Club, can give you the edge when conducting business in downtown Colorado Springs. You might want to entertain a potential client or just show appreciation to a loyal business partner. Either way, your new 365 Grand Club card is your passport to downtown Colorado Springs. Your club card gives you access to discounts, business perks, making new business connections, and the convenient private concierge service that makes getting around town hassle-free. Enjoy the benefits of downtown with ease and prestige. Get your club card today by visiting www.365grandclub.com. That's 365grandclub.com. Get yours this week and join the club, the 365 Grand Club.
It gives clarity to problem solving. It increases production and focus on the job. It alleviates sleepless and restless nights and fends off stress and tension headaches. No, it's not the latest energy drink or health supplement. It's Legal Shield. Get peace of mind every day, every night, now and forever. Legal Shield. Get it.
To find out more about Legal Shield and how it can protect your family and your business, call Andrea at area code 719-243-3174. That's area code 719-243-3174. Legal Shield.
Programming produced by and for the Internet Broadcasting Network can be found on TuneIn. Be sure to take us with you by using the TuneIn app on all your mobile devices. This is the IB Network.
Success Success Radio USA is always looking for ways to help you succeed. Whether it's offering a word of encouragement or sharing practical information that can give you the competitive edge. So you'll want to pay close attention to this. Our new sponsor, the 365 Grand Club, can give you the edge when conducting business in downtown Colorado Springs. You might want to entertain a potential client or just show appreciation to a loyal business partner. Either way, your new 365 Grand Club card is your passport to downtown Colorado Springs. Your club card gives you access to discounts, business perks, making new business connections, and the convenient private concierge service that makes getting around town hassle-free. Enjoy the benefits of downtown with ease and prestige. Get your club card today by visiting www.365grandclub.com. That's 365grandclub.com. Get yours this week and join the club, the 365 Grand Club.
Only a few dollars a month. How many?
Less than $1 a week.
Less than $1 a week.
Less than $1 a week.
And you can have total access to our show's archives on demand and our Success Library of ebooks, which are also free to our members.
In other words, when you're available, we're available on demand.
Right. On demand. I love that.
On demand. Yeah. Well,
I always loved that term ever since it came out, with regard to communications.
Right.
And everything like that. So
it's like one of the great catchphrases out there, on demand.
Right. Our guest today, Johnny Wilson, has been expounding on all the different things that he's done in his life, some of the goals that he had immediately and some of the long-term goals and whatnot. And I thought it was, once again, it was fascinating that you're going to pursue an interest now of passion with regard to the Professional Bowlers Tour. But when you look back on all the things that you've accomplished in your life, and going back to coming from a small town, joining the military,
breaking a family tradition.
I mean, if you could sum it all up, would it be a situation where you feel like you've had no regrets? You feel like there are things that you wish you would have done, or maybe you can expand on that?
No, I have no regrets because you learn from your mistakes.
Right.
Okay.
So, like I said,
you were talking about that with the photography studio, right?
Well, not so much that. A product of your environment.
Okay.
I grew up drinking, had a couple DUIs. I haven't drank in 22 years.
Congratulations.
So you really learn from your mistakes, and thank God nobody got hurt during that time. And I grew up, and now I do all I can to say thank you and please and open the door for people.
Boom, pay it forward.
Hey, can I give you a hug? So yes. I'm all about now trying to give back and encourage people.
And a couple of things on that. So Tony Robbins, when he was kicked out of his house on Christmas Eve, December 24th, age 17, he remembered a line from one of his mentors, Jim Rohn. So when you talk about making mistakes and learning from them, the first line that came to his head when he was on his streets is that it's not what happens to you, but it's what you do with what happens to you.
Oh, sure.
Is one thing. Yeah. And then in your situation about learning and growing, one thing Brian Tracy is really good about, he says, the benefit of pursuing a goal is not what you achieve by it, but what you become by it.
Yeah.
So whether you hit the goal or not isn't as important as what you're becoming by pursuing the goal.
True.
And you're living that, which is cool.
Yeah. No, you got to set goals. So I've done that all my life. And, once you got one, it's like goals reinvigorate you.
Yes, they do. They keep you on track.
Yeah.
They motivate you.
Yep. So, this bowling goal, I've been after it for a year now, and I just can't tell you how excited I am to get on the road and go meet new people and new circle of friends. And,
right.
And these guys are the best in the world, so I'm putting myself in a position to really have a good time.
Right.
So,
and the things you're going to pick up just watching them, I don't know how much you studied about neuropsychology, but yeah, that's an amazing education by itself.
Okay, tie that in.
Well, neuropsychology, and this is where we go through visualization and observation, but just being in that crowd and being, just like when I go to my professional insurance seminar every year, it is one thing to read the articles about people who are doing well in insurance in my company, but it's different when you're around them and you're picking up all their subtleties and their thoughts and their very, very small thoughts. So in your case, when you're watching these guys bowl, your subconscious is really picking up every little detail that might help you to implement it in your throwing style to help you become to their level. It's a great education.
Well, something I do now, if I don't make a cut on a tournament, I don't get mad and go home. I sit and watch.
Yes!
What are those top 5 guys doing that I'm not?
Yeah.
So, and then I'll talk to him later.
And let me share a story on that, because I'm not a golfer, but I was watching a golf tournament, and I'll remember it the rest of my life. But there was this female golfer out there, and she was swinging and apparently not doing well, because every time she would swing and miss, she would get so angry and throw her club down. If she knew how that was messing up her game, she would have stopped it, but she didn't know. Yep. So like you said, because the anger, here we go into the brain physiology. When you get the anger, the cortisol and the adrenaline comes in, and it messes up the whole circuitry, right? You're not thinking straight. Love the way, in fact, you said, I don't get angry. You should write that down. Don't get angry. I just observe.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to respond to that.
I'm a pretty mellow person, and Jerry's seen me bowl, so I'm pretty mellow at bowling.
He's not really loud and boisterous like me.
Well, we have a good time, and no matter what you do in life, have a good time.
Exactly, yes.
And I think that's very important, because you know when you're talking just going back to the passion of it, that's all well and great. But if you're not enjoying it, even though you may have a passion for it,
what's the point?
And when you say don't get angry, that's a wonderful concept. I wish that Jerry Evans, could have that as part of my life, because I get angry about things if I'm not able to achieve my goals, and people have seen it.
Now, Jerry, you need to become a subscriber of Success Radio USA, pay $3.99 per month, and have our on-demand shows on our, and listen to Johnny's show.
Okay.
Yeah, listen to Johnny's show.
I know. He brings out a very valid point. And right in there, I've learned something even about myself today that really I probably already knew, but brought to light.
I got to tell you this. I just seen him Friday. He's like, I quit. We were bowling. We won Friday.
Said the words, I quit.
He's like, I quit. He goes, I'm not bowling anymore. I'm like, what?
Well, you get angry about things, and rather than sit there and observe,
You get angry about things. He doesn't.
I know, he doesn't. I'm talking about myself. That's what I'm saying. This is one of those cases where, in a roundabout way, he's been a mentor to me.
Exactly.
As far as about, human emotion.
Right, yes.
When you have something that is important to you, and you go back and you say, why can't I do this? Why can't I achieve what I'm setting out to do here? And that's kind of the way things have been structured for me, especially in the last 3 or 4 or 5 months or whatever. And it's been hard to deal with, because
it's discouraging.
I'm one of those people that I enjoy being successful, and I strive to be successful. And when it doesn't happen, it does make me angry.
But take the Tom Landry approach. I'm not a big football fan, but one thing I recall about Tom Landry of the Dallas Cowboys was the dude never got angry. I mean, I never see the guy angry. No, it's just process, change, boom. Very analytical, it looked like.
Yeah. And that's the way, I believe that's the way you're supposed to approach it. Unlike John McEnroe and myself.
Yeah, right.
That's the way you should do it. John McEnroe, tennis star and everything like that. You have got to be kidding me.
Yes.
All those famous lines that he had when he was out on the circuit playing tennis. Yeah. I remember watching him, and I sat back and I thought, all these people think he's a big jerk. And I was sitting there thinking, man, John McEnroe is incredible. And what I was doing was I was identifying myself with John McEnroe.
Okay.
And when I look back on that, that's not necessarily was a good thing for myself. But it's one of those pills I had to swallow.
But now you can identify with Johnny. So you
That's
can
exactly right.
That. And Tony Robbins, literally on a serious note, and we're joking here, but he says you got to find people that you can match and mirror, people that you can just duplicate what they're doing. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Really.
What is his thought process? What is his practice process? When does he wake up? What is his philosophy about it? All these little ingredients in the recipe that can allow you to duplicate and get the same result. It's science.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to learn out on the tour.
Exactly, yes.
Great bowlers, and
oh my gosh,
boy, am I going to be a sponge.
Yes. That's the best way to learn.
So what would you like to pass along to other people, that are trying to achieve goals, whether it be whatever the case might be?
I would think the first thing is write it down.
Yes.
I like that.
If you don't write it down, what's the point?
Yeah. So write down your goals, and it's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. My first thing was I committed to 1 year out going on the Pro Bowlers Tour. So I went back and became a member of, or wasn't able to be a member yet because I didn't have a 200 average. So I had to practice to even become eligible.
Right.
But you got to write it down, and you got to see it, and you got to work on it each day. But it's little chunks at a time. to reach a big goal. If you want to save, like Dave Ramsey says, $1,000 emergency fund, you might do $50 a month to get that $1,000.
Yep.
Whatever
you can do.
Then you don't have to charge something if something goes wrong. That was huge for us.
Oh, yeah.
So it's little goals at a time.
And go back to Brian Tracy, his technique is he says every morning you start with a clean sheet of paper and you write down your 10 most important goals for that day. And you do it every single day. So many people will go through the process of writing down a goal and it's somewhere on the desk.
Yeah.
But Brian says every day, write it down. A new sheet of paper.
Well, and I'll tell you what's helped me. I walk every morning. The mornings that I can. I've had injuries from all the military stuff, the packs, the weight, the diving. But I try to get out. I got about a 4-mile loop around my home.
Fantastic.
And it's just, nobody's out in the morning. It's fresh air. So I just do that loop, and it's my hour with me. It's my time.
Yes.
I don't do it in the winter. I go to the gym.
Okay. Yeah. But at least in summer, you have a committed hour.
Yeah, like right now, it's starting to get nice, and it's like I can't wait to get out and do the walk.
Exactly. So. And I think two benefits of that, well, several benefits, but two is, number one, when you do that, you're committed to being out there for at least an hour. Unlike in your house, you may start to goal plan, visualize, whatever, and this interruption comes in. You're stuck for an hour. That's a good commitment.
Yeah. And, I do the walk. Some other people may go to the gym. They may run. They may be bicycle. But you do what you like to do.
Well, I would encourage the walking because there was a book on it, a really good book that gave probably 15 examples of people who walked and thought and came up with new ideas during that time.
Yeah.
So there is, if you want to brainstorm or be creative, walking has been proven to be just amazing.
Yeah.
Great technique.
Yep. So I try to do that, when the weather's nice.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You don't practice bowling while you're walking, do you?
Yeah.
Do you visualize it?
It goes through my head.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's as good a place as any, for sure.
This is a huge goal, but out on the PBA 50 tour, there's a Rookie of the Year.
Look at that.
So I have a goal of being a PBA 50 Rookie of the Year.
Fantastic.
Because I'm doing the whole swing, and it's a point system. And then my other goal is to be top 12.
Fantastic.
And then you're invited to an invitational at the end of the season. That's hard to obtain, but I got to have a goal. So
exactly.
I'm reaching for the moon.
But again, goes back to Brian Tracy. You may not hit it, but what you're going to become by pursuing it is well worth it.
Yeah.
It's not an act of futility by any means.
Yeah. And I'm putting myself in an industry I would like to work in.
There we go.
So I finished my master's degree in project management. If I cross paths with somebody in that industry, Storm, Brunswick, I may work there one day.
Exactly.
So,
or building a bowling alley is a project. Hey, you got a skill set. There you go.
Yeah, and that's something on my mind that if I work for Brunswick, I can go build a bowling alley.
Right.
I can hire the contractors.
Call it Wilson Lanes.
Yeah. There we go. I like that. You have the Wilson football, Wilson bowling. Hey, it dominates sports.
Well, I had a buddy of mine. We had a goal. His name is Eric, and my name is Jerry. So we were going to put our names together, call it Jerick Lanes. But then we decided, well, why not Jericho? Jerick Lanes Company. So Jericho Lanes, where the pins come tumbling down.
That is amazing.
How's that for a biblical reference?
That guy a gold star today. I love
we
that.
We thought about that.
You should have trademarked that because now some bowling companies out there.
They're going to be out there saying Jericho Lanes, pins come tumbling down. Yeah, I like that.
You have to pay attention when he's.
Let's just hope it's a Christian bowling alley, so at least it's for the glory of God.
That was our plan, yes.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Well, then it becomes a ministry, and that's a whole different radio show.
Yeah,
which is great.
We can get into that a little bit later, I guess, at some point in our lives.
No, I think everything should be a ministry.
I'll tell you what, all the goals and all the things that you've been through in your life, it's been an amazing story when you really think about it. And when you look back on it, I'm sure sometimes you have to kind of pick yourself up and say, wow, all that in my life?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm blessed, and you actually forget how much you've done until somebody brings it up.
Yes.
I've been to 48 countries, every state except Alaska.
Wow.
But I'm wanting to go there. So
good goal.
But yeah, it's
they have planes that go there.
I know.
They probably have bowling alleys there too.
Yeah. I'm gonna find a tournament in Alaska.
And if there's not one, make one.
Yeah. No, they're there. I've looked at them. So
it's gonna have a big moose standing across in the front of the lane.
But a lot of it, and I'll get back to being out of debt. A lot of people can't achieve their goals because of the debt that they have.
Oh yeah.
And if you make that a goal to pluck away at getting rid of that debt, it'll allow you to enjoy life.
And that is huge. Yeah, you've got to take control and take plans, think about your spending. I mean, all the little decisions that people take for granted.
Yep.
So that is huge. So one thing I want to kind of recap with our listeners here is you've heard Johnny's story, and if you're in a position that you're going to a job you hate and your life is just not that good and just kind of struggling getting through it, and your only goal is to hopefully retire someday and have time to myself, not with a plan of what you want to do, look at what Johnny's done. And it's like, 56 years old, 10 years basically to retirement at our ages, and he's already happy.
Yeah.
Is the man happy? Yes. Okay. Do I want to follow him? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
He's doing things to happen. Why is he happy? Because he's pursuing passions. Yeah. He's got big dreams. He's got big connections like that. He's got a good plan.
Yeah, no, you got to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now, I start thinking, okay, maybe I'll live to 85. Am I covered in long-term care?
Oh, we should talk. I'm an insurance guy.
So, but that's something you got. You don't think of that when you're 18.
No, you don't.
But that's something you got to think about. And if I pass away, is my family taken care of?
Yeah.
I have life insurance and all that, but it can rot away fast.
And this life insurance agent, I'm not plugging my company, but I'm saying it is important.
Yeah,
You've got to think about life insurance, and they have products now to where it's not only a life insurance product, but they're what are called living benefits, which are long-term care benefits. And it's the same policy, the same premium, doesn't cost you anything more. But call your agent today, whoever that is, and look at a life insurance policy with living benefits. That's huge.
Yeah.
Johnny Wilson, thank you very much for being on Profiles of Success. And
we're down to 15 seconds. So
we are. So we got to go.
Okay. 1 minute to close.
Oh, okay. Then I can say it again.
Yes.
Thank you for being on Profiles of Success. It's been an entertaining and rewarding show for all of us, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's been fun.
Recapping Johnny's things, talk to SCORE, talk to the SBDC, go to your local library, make sure you're staying out of debt, make sure you're planning ahead, make sure you're finding out what's important to you, and pursue that passions. And as far as what Johnny's been doing, 500 books he's invested in his own personal library to get the education he needs to be able to pursue those things. But one thing Johnny did, no matter when the studio's falling apart or no matter when people are saying don't go down this path, he, I'm sure from what he said, had made sure that every single day when he woke up, no matter how he felt, he would take some kind of action to do anything, to do something, to keep moving forward.
Thank you for listening to the IB Network at ibnetwork.us.